Hi there, Susan Fleischman here with ZTV, here with another wonderful nonprofit organization here in Alexandria that's taking part in Spring to Action 2021. Well, Susan Fitzpatrick from Community Lodgings, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan.
We are just doing these kind of a quick series of videos to kind of get to know these organizations better. We all know that you do wonderful work, but why don't you tell us a little bit about your specific organization and the work that you guys do there?
Certainly. Thank you. So, Community Lodgings works to bring families to self sufficiency and independence. And so, we have several programs. We have housing options. We have 45 units. We have some that are available for as affordable housing, some for transitional families coming out of a crisis situation. And then we also work with the children in the neighborhood, kind of the next generation, to help them use their education to help break the cycle of poverty. So we have a robust youth program, including an out of school time program, summer enrichment camp, and a mentoring program. We're located in the Chiralagua neighborhood, nicknamed Chiralagua. It's Arlandria, I guess, officially.
Uh huh.
Um, and we do a lot of outreach for the families who live here. A lot of our residents are non-English speakers. And so a large portion of what we do is outreach for those families.
Oh, fantastic! What a needed service right now these days. Um, it seems a silly question, but can you tell us the specific challenges that you faced in 2020?
Let's say 2020. No,
Yeah, what
obviously.
happened last year?
Other than having to learn Zoom and everything else that everyone suffered through, our families were hit relatively hard. A lot of the workers in the community were either, laid off and had their number of hours cut, or their jobs have been eliminated altogether. Many of them are in the hospitality industry and other industries that were obviously hard hit. So, in addition to struggling with just their regular monthly bills, suddenly it was very hard for them to be able to put food on the table. Access to healthcare was difficult, and so we jumped in and sort of started taking on yet a different role, making sure that they had hot meals, making sure that they had rental assistance if needed, coordinating with neighborhood health and the Alexandria Health Department, to make sure that their health needs were addressed. And making sure obviously that they had PPE and all of the other
Right.
necessary supplies.
Yeah, they really got hit coming and going. A lot of those poor neighborhoods. Um, wow. And you did participate in Spring to Action last year. I believe it was a virtual event last year as well. And so, how did help you address some of these many challenges that you guys were really only just beginning to see when Spring to Action happened last year?
Right, right, exactly. We and as the pandemic, as the quarantine was just beginning, we did establish a relief fund. So we knew we would have money set aside to help our families, but money from Spring to Action went to that as well. In addition to making sure that we had the PPE and making sure that we were able to continue to reach out to the kids virtually, to our transitional residents virtually. Um, Spring to Action helped us establish our summer camp, which is very important to the kids. And so it looked a little different. Most of the activities, well, all of the activities were outside. We're social distanced, and then we did some of the events virtually. We even did a readathon. So again, money from Spring to Action helped to make sure we had books for the kids, to make sure we had extra supplies for the kids because we can no longer share. And everything just is a little bit harder, takes a little bit more thought and coordination. And every donation that we received went to helping us kind of plug in those holes.
Oh, that's fantastic. Um, what did you get feedback from any of your families in your that you serve? What what difference did they, the impact that those donations had? Can you even put that into
It's
words?
not really. I mean, it's absolutely amazing, and the families are just so grateful for like our bilingual staff members being able to help them, even coordinating for rental assistance, for food assistance. We've been able, again, with some really careful considerations, to start our kids in the out of school time program, even when school was still virtual. So just being able to give them a little break from childcare has been helpful, I think, for the families here. Actually, we just put together. Just because it's March, a year in the life, kind of a video review of everything we've done in the past year, because it seemed to be the best way to do it. And we actually do have some voices of our clients on the video, and that'll be linked to our Spring to Action page.
Oh, fantastic. Gosh, I urge everybody to go take a look at that. If you ever worry that, you're a single, even a small donation just makes a difference because it all adds up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And there really is nothing like hearing it right from the people whose lives are affected the most by it. So, um, that's just great. I'm glad that you have done that. That's a lot of work, I know. Can you mentioned before the calendar behind you or the poster behind you? Was that a project that you wanted to
Absolutely.
talk
Thank you
about?
for
Yeah.
bringing that
Hmm.
up. Thank you, Susan.
Sure.
One thing that was really inspiring for us, though, as the staff, as we were all struggling with COVID and we were all dealing with our own issues, the neighborhood was phenomenal. The kids in the program were phenomenal. They just were so filled with hope and so gracious about everything we asked them to do. So towards the end of the year, as we were looking ahead to 2021, we looked at their hopeful attitudes and we asked them to draw us pictures. And so they did. And we took them and we made yard signs. So we're selling five different pictures, different sayings, as yard signs that you can, help us spread our messages of hope around the community. You might drive around and see some. I always get excited when I see them in people's yards. But we are still selling the five different messages of hope yard signs, and hope is our theme through all of 2021.
Yeah, absolutely. I just love the bottom one. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Truer words were never spoken, honestly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
So our
fantastic.
website, you can find all of them.
Okay, and that's communitylodgings.org.
Correct. Mhm.
Okay, beautiful. Communitylodgings.org. Um, so that is one way. My next question was going to be how can the community support you moving forward in 2021? So I guess purchasing some of those signs is one way to help. And I'm sure donations are always welcome, right? Are there other ways that people can help?
Absolutely. Right now, again, purchasing yard signs, getting the word out. We're still being very cautious in getting. I would normally say volunteer. We can always use volunteers to help with our kids, but we're a little cautious in getting people back in person right now. So getting the word out that the families are still struggling. They're still food insecure. We're continuing to need food. We've got some items listed on our Amazon wish list on our website. And then, just help us spread these messages of hope throughout the community.
That is good to know, and I encourage everybody watching the video to go ahead and go visit your website. What do you have specific goals in 2021 besides doing everything you can, which I know is your kind of a constant goal? But do you have any other specific goals for 2021?
One of the things, this is going to sound kind of, I don't know, mundane, but it's important. One of the things that we are looking at for donations that we're taking in this spring and summer will be helping to upgrade our air purifying systems in our three learning center sites, especially where the kids gather.
That doesn't seem mundane. That seems
It's
very
important.
it seems very topical and needed, and I think would give staff as well as students and everybody there a little bit more peace of mind, right? I mean, especially in this day and age. So, Susan, what a pleasure to meet you. And let's wrap it up. I want you to fill in the blank here that we ask everybody, and the sentence is: I spring to action because.
I spring to action because the families in Chiralagua need my help.
Oh, well, there you go. It doesn't really get much more simple and to the point than that. Susan Fitzpatrick, thank you so much. What a pleasure to talk to you today. And good luck to you. And we'll be rooting for you at Community Lodgings for Spring to Action this year.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank
sure
you.
thing. Take care.
Take care.